They saw her as a transaction, not a person. They thought they could demand more money after the wedding and treat her like a prisoner. They forgot that in the digital age, every threat leaves a footprint. I met Nora in the lobby of a high-profile courthouse. She was holding a folder full of documents, and she looked like she had just won a war. She told me her ex-husband's family was about to learn that greed comes with a very heavy prison sentence. Nora's story began with what she thought was a dream wedding, but soon after, the dream turned into a nightmare. Her new in-laws, who had seemed so charming before, revealed their true colors. They started by dropping hints, which quickly turned into outright demands. First, it was a new luxury car. Then it was a fixed amount of cash, delivered every single month. The threats were always the same. If you don't convince your father to pay, we'll send you back. You'll be a disgrace. Her husband, the man who had promised to love and protect her, stood by and did nothing. He was just their puppet, echoing their demands, making her feel completely alone and trapped in her own home. She became their prisoner, her life reduced to a constant state of anxiety, waiting for the next demand, the next threat. But they underestimated Nora. They thought her silence meant submission. What they didn't know was that with every menacing phone call, Nora was quietly pressing the record button on her phone. Every threatening text message, every demand for money, she saved, dated, and archived. For 2 long years, she meticulously built a digital fortress of evidence. Each file was a brick in the wall she was constructing around their greed. She was playing the long game, waiting for the right moment to turn their own weapons against them. They thought they were in control, but in reality, they were just handing her the ammunition she needed to win the war. When Nora finally had enough, she didn't just pack her bags and leave. She walked into a lawyer's office armed with 2 years of undeniable proof. Her legal team was stunned. The sheer volume of evidence, the recordings, the texts, the bank transfer requests was overwhelming. They used domestic violence laws, which cover not just physical harm, but also emotional and financial abuse, to build a rock-solid case. It was no longer about just getting a divorce. It was about justice. The in-laws, who thought they held all the power, were suddenly facing serious legal consequences. Their threats, once whispered in private, were now being played back in a courtroom, their greed exposed for everyone to see. The court's decision was a landmark victory for Nora. She was granted the divorce, but it didn't stop there. The judge ordered a massive settlement, a figure that far exceeded the dowry her family had originally paid. The amount was calculated based on the emotional distress and the relentless extortion she had endured. Essentially, the very money they tried to bleed from her father was now legally hers, and then some. It was poetic justice. They wanted her family's wealth, and in the end, they lost a substantial portion of their own. The final verdict sent a clear message. The law protects the vulnerable, and greed has a price. And what did Nora do with that settlement? She didn't buy a fancy car or go on a lavish vacation. She invested in herself. She used that money, the money that was meant to be the price of her suffering, to fund her own dream. She started a small tech business, an idea she had nurtured for years but never had the chance to pursue. Today, her company is thriving. She's not just a survivor. She's a successful entrepreneur, a boss, and an inspiration. The funds her abusers tried to extort from her family became the foundation of her independence and her new life. She turned their greed into her success story, proving that the best revenge is not just living well, but building an empire from the ashes of what was meant to destroy you. Nora's journey is a powerful reminder that knowledge is power, especially in the digital age. It shows that even when you feel trapped, there are ways to fight back. Her story teaches us the importance of knowing your rights and using the tools available to you to seek justice. If you or someone you know is facing abuse, please remember you are not alone. There are organizations and resources available to help you. Reaching out to a local domestic violence hotline or a legal aid society can be the first step towards safety and freedom. Thank you so much for watching. If Nora's story resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.